We're going to take a moment to look at some B's and D's in their lowercase form because there's a lot of confusion that some children have with, sorry about that. That is my cat Bella. She gets very excited when we start talking about pretty much anything OT. So B's and D's, they can look a lot like each other. The only difference is that one is a mirror image of the other. If we flipped it over, it would look just like the opposite letter. And our brains most of the time don't have to worry about the orientation of something, which direction it's facing. If we look at an animal who's facing toward the right, and then we look at an animal that is facing toward the left, we are still able to recognize it's the same animal. And so our brains aren't always the greatest at remembering or noticing which direction something like a letter faces, because this is about the only time where that orientation of a visual item really matters for what the item actually is. So I have marked up here the L for left and the R for right to help a little bit. Our letter B, lowercase b, has the curved part, the circle part, on the right side. So if we can think about this a few ways. If we are to write the lowercase letter b, we start at the top with a big line down, and then we ride the elevator halfway back up and make a curve to make our lowercase b. The way that we make the D is different. You can either start at the top of the small letter space and make your curve first, and then go straight all the way up and ride the elevator back down, or a little trickier is if you start a little bit away from the previous letter. So like if we're writing the word, you can't see that. If we're writing the word bed, for example, we've got B, E, and then for D, if we want to start at the top, we have to leave extra space for the curved part because the curved part is going to be close to the E. So I prefer if we start with our magic C, turn it to a D to make the lowercase letter D. Just makes it a little easier when we're writing the letter so we don't confuse our B and our D. On this page, we can see there are B's and D's. You can either follow along looking and answering, or you could copy this onto a paper in front of you and circle or mark your items following along. First, let's find all of the B's. B, nope, that's a D. Nope, that's a D. That one's a B. Look at this one. Nope, it's a D. That one's a B. Yep, curve is on the right. Come to the next row. D, B, B, D, D, D. So we should have this one and this one circled, 3 of them in all for the top row. And then the bottom row has this B and that B, only 2 B's in the bottom row. So you can do activities like this that work on recognizing these reversals. It can also be helpful to include P and Q in their lowercase forms as well, since those letters are also very similar with just orientation changes. So we've got P, B, oh, I should make my D with magic C, there's a D, and then our Q. And in lowercase, the P is aligned down like the Q. They're both go below letters. So that can get kind of tricky. Q does usually have this little tail, but not all forms or all fonts of writing have that. So it's really important to be able to quickly recognize which letter it is so that we're able to read really quickly, but also so that when we're writing, we're making sure we're putting the correct letter. It can really confuse our readers or make it harder for them to know what we're saying if our letters are facing the wrong direction. So then we could do another page where we fill it up with P's, B's, D's, and Q's, and then we go through and we look for one specific one of those. I should also mention 9. 9 and Q also look pretty similar. It's that alignment where the baseline, if the baseline's here, Q has its curved part, the circle part touching the baseline, whereas the number 9 is tall. But those can also be easily confused with capital P and lowercase p because, again, they're very similar. Just that mirror flipping. One other way that I like to remember the difference between B's and D's is I think of the word bed. A B at the beginning, and then an E, and at the end it's got a D, which helps me remember if I think of the B at the beginning, like the headboard, it's got its big line on the outside, and then there's this part in the middle that's kind of like a bed. You could lay right here and have a footboard where your D is, the end part of your D. So the circles are in the middle where you'll put your head and your feet, and then you've got your lines on the outsides for the word bed. All right, and that is it for this reversal quick lesson. Hope it was helpful. See you next time.